The following podcast contains mature subject matter, adult themes, and may also contain profanity. You have been warned.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Hi.
Welcome back to The Absurd, a podcast about the absurd. And I do... Oh, by the way, I should introduce. Hi, Mel. Mel, my co-host, is here.
Hi. Yeah, I am here.
You are here. I can see you.
Don't forget about me.
Not a chance. God knows I've tried. No, that's not true. Mel is awesome. Don't kid yourself. But I did think of something that I wanted to put out there. So, as you guys know, we do a lot of different news stories from across the world and from across time. You know, we do a lot of things, and the word absurd has some different meanings, different connotations. We don't ever really mean it as a judgment.
Right.
We've all done things that are stupid.
Yes.
That had things gone just slightly different could have ended in disaster. Mm-hmm. Right? Or just looking like a gigantic shithead. Mm-hmm. Right? That's happened anyway.
Yes.
But we don't mean it that way. We're just pointing out that how human nature, not nature, but humanity, we're a complicated species, and some of us are less complicated than others and do absurd things. Other people are, unfortunately, the victims of absurd, the cards they've been dealt in life. Like the last episode, we talked about the hungriest man, ever in history. Eating like puppies and toddlers and shit.
Delicious.
I'm not going to defend him eating a toddler or a puppy. But, he was a victim of a awful set of circumstances.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So we're not mocking him. We're not making light of his predicament. And sometimes we're aghast at some of these things as you are. So I just wanted to clarify that we're not making light of the people involved unless we are, and in which case we'll state that, won't we, Mel?
We will.
Like we're gonna say, my God, this person's a dick. Like the guy who put the lobsters down the front of his pants.
See.
Like no sympathy, dude.
No.
A, you're a thief.
Kind of brought that on yourself.
Well, B, you're a moron.
Yeah.
Like I'd put him under my hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you?
We'd have like a Cat in the Hat to be able to get lobsters under it. But I don't know what it would grab up there, because I'm not going to lie. I'm not one of those usual men who's utterly obsessed with my genitalia. But
Right.
if I'm going to put lobsters on the front of my pants, it's going to occur to me that they're in close proximity to my boys.
Got it.
Damn straight.
Got it.
Anywho.
On that note.
Yeah. Phew. So, how are things?
Things are good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good.
Good.
I'm getting hungry.
Oh, me too, man. I could eat
Ketchup?
I was going to say a small toddler, but
Too soon?
I wouldn't eat a toddler.
No.
And to say a small toddler is a bit stupid, because I guess there's big toddlers.
Maybe there's big toddlers.
What would you, if you could have anything to eat right now, what would you have? Yeah, dude. By the way, she said ketchup. She bought me a bottle of habanero ketchup.
I did.
Which I'm very excited to try. And she did promise that she was going to try a teaspoon of it.
Maybe.
No.
I don't remember this.
I do. It's on evidence. It's on recording. And it's not about the hot thing. She hates ketchup.
Dislike ketchup so much.
So it could be awesome.
Ugh, gross.
But yeah, if you could have anything to eat right now, what would you have?
I don't know. You said burger earlier.
Yeah.
That sounded pretty good.
Kind of focusing on a cheeseburger?
And wings.
A burger and wings?
No.
Oh, one or the other.
No, one or the other.
Can I tell them about how you eat wings?
How do I eat wings, Rod?
You eat them with a knife and fork. She went to finishing school. No, I don't know. She didn't. I've never seen anybody eat chicken wings with a knife and fork before.
I'm a delicate flower. What can
I
say?
Much in the same way that a cactus is. Jesus. Delicate flower.
It's messy and it's gross, and like you're in a restaurant, and you're touching the table and you're touching everything, and then you put your fingers in your mouth, and it just no. And then everybody makes that wing face.
What is that?
Do it next time. Record yourself when you eat wings and you make a wing face.
What do you? But what?
It's like an animal, like an animal eating meat.
That's why I like it.
Yeah,
Right.
But I don't want to do that in public.
Okay. Whatever. I mean, you do you, as the people say. I just think it's cute.
Is it?
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Because I'm going to start dissuading you away from it.
Uh-huh.
So if I make it sound really
No,
cute.
it's okay. You're not the first person to make fun of me.
No, I'm sure.
I'm told weekly at a place that I go that,
What the hell's the
I'm a
matter
little
with you?
messed up.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you have soup, do you use a spoon?
Fork.
Really? It's got to take
Yeah,
a while,
yeah,
eh?
yeah,
Better be
yeah.
a thick soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got something for us today.
Well, yeah. all right.
Something absurd, even?
Yeah.
Bring it.
We're gonna come back to Canada.
Ooh, I like
A lot of
Canada.
our stories are other places, so it's good to be in Canada.
Sure it is.
This one's in Quebec. There's 3 relatives, okay, that
Okay.
live in Quebec. And apparently they've been selling their sperm on social media.
On social media?
On social media, who knew? I had no idea this was even a thing.
No, I guess it's an up-and-coming thing.
Yeah, I guess so. So there's over 600 children that were discovered to have been born following these said sperm donations on Facebook
Oh.
by 3 men. Now, it
Oh.
doesn't say that they're brothers or whatever, they just say they're relatives.
Okay.
2 of the men who donated the sperm were discovered to be carriers of a genetic variant for tyrosinemia, I believe it's pronounced.
Well done.
It's a condition that leads to liver disease.
Oh. That's
So,
serious.
to have this disease, the child has to inherit the faulty gene from both the father and the mother.
Okay, so one parent isn't enough to...
Correct.
Okay.
Which is where they're looking into this now. Because you've got 600 kids out there that are all related
Right.
and they don't know it.
Right.
So, these kids could be hooking up together.
Not yet,
So-
I hope.
Who knows? 600. Who knows how long this has been going on
Oh,
for,
yeah,
too,
touche.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess you could donate more than once a day, I guess, is the politically correct
I could
way of
easily
saying
donate...
it.
Oh, never mind.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. How much they pay? Might be a new
I
side
don't know.
hustle.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
Why do...
Anyways. Okay.
Never mind. Forget it.
that
Forget
could
it.
go, yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, so it's not currently known if any of the children born via this donation have the condition yet.
Right.
But yeah, so like they said, they want to look into it. This doctor, through the Department of Public Health, is interested in getting the mothers and children involved. This will allow them to be aware of their half siblings in an effort to reduce the risk of them inadvertently having families together. So that could get real bad.
Well, it's so like, do the parents of these children who were fathered, if you will, as a result of these donations, are they aware of this?
I think they're working on it.
Okay.
They don't know
Right.
because it wasn't disclosed.
Yeah.
So, Canada currently doesn't have a cap on the number of donations a sperm donor can make, which is interesting, especially if it's being done on Facebook. I mean, how do you regulate that on something like Facebook?
Well, I didn't even
A
know
social media platform.
how do they even do it on Facebook? Like,
No,
Like,
I have no idea.
is it through like some sort of fertility clinic or?
I don't know. Apparently, there is a documentary out there
Okay.
by Novo. I've
No
never
idea.
heard of this.
No.
Noovo.
Okay.
And it's called Pierre 100 Infants, or Enfant, I guess it is.
Yeah.
And there's a documentary on it
Interesting.
that will have more details on it if you want to look into it. But it's kind of interesting that,
I might watch it. I hope it's not in French. Or
might
so
be.
I hope it is
It might
subtitles.
be. This link is clickable. Let me see. But,
Clickable.
is it? Oh, yeah, look at that.
So I just looked it up
Yeah.
while I was listening to you, and believe me, I was listening to you. So obviously you cannot marry your brother or sister, right?
Right.
You can marry your first cousin.
Sure.
And I was just actually looking it up. So it says here, children of non-related couples have a 2 to 3% risk of birth defects, as opposed to first cousins having a 4 to 6%. So it's double, but not
Not
not greatly significant.
No.
Although you're still playing a bit
Russian
of Russian
roulette.
roulette, right?
Yeah, for
There just
sure.
happens to be like 16 bullets in the
Right.
in the gun, and birth defects. I mean, that can be a pretty vast statement, right? Like a pretty, so yeah, but you can, and all of Europe you can, U.S. you can marry your first cousin. So I have to think that they've determined that the risk level is low enough to allow it.
Right.
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 I'm just thinking if I wanted to marry any of my first cousins. A couple are pretty cute, but I've never ever thought of like them in a romantic
No.
or sexual
No.
way. No,
No.
because they're my cousins, dude.
Right.
You
Right.
know? Yeah, that's interesting. And a bit weird, but I guess so. Is this whomever was collecting the semen? Have they stopped? Like, is this are they being investigated, or are they self-investigating, or anything? Do you
Yeah,
know?
well, a doctor kind of made the discovery about it, and I guess public health is now involved, and they're looking into it.
Right.
Whether they've been stopped or not, I don't know that part. That'd be interesting to know. And I did look up that documentary,
Yes.
and it's a French streaming service. So it will probably, I couldn't even read the website, so. Anyways.
I know someone who speaks French very well,
Yeah.
almost as well as I do. No, I'm putting that in there for her because she speaks French far better than I do.
Okay.
But I'll bet you it has subtitles.
Oh, yeah, and you could probably find it on, like, YouTube or something.
Yeah.
That will be dubbed for you.
Maybe I'll just go to that website and be really awesome and find it right away.
You could do that, too.
And I'll tell everybody I speak French. Dicks. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
there
an
you go.
interesting story.
There you go. So if you want to go sell some sperm on Facebook,
Well, I don't really care
apparently
where I
there's
sell it.
a market for it.
Got to be better than selling it on the street. Hey dude, want some spunk?
You'll probably get a whole different
It'll be, yeah, I know.
audience with that one.
I'm not prepared for that, I don't
No.
think. And the word spunk really disgusting.
Spunk.
Yeah, it's because the original meaning was like, they've got some energy,
Right, yes. I got some spunk in
That
me.
boy's got spunk. Really? Never mind. But you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I do.
Words change. Now you have two
yeah.
kids.
I do.
Obviously, when you're a prospective parent, you're praying, or if you're not a religious person, you're hoping strongly that your children are healthy when they're
Right.
born, right?
Of course.
And I'm always astounded, to be quite honest, given how complicated the human body is, that things don't go wrong more often.
Right.
Right? Because there's thousands of processes going on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It never takes a break.
Right.
Your heart never goes, okay, well, we just need 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, sometimes it does.
It might.
But it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
So it can last 80, 90 years effort, just doing its thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
And of all the different types of maladies, simple and horrific, that a child can be born with, some are quite obscure, quite rare, fortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is about I don't know why I have to say a pair of twins, because you can hardly find any other kind, but of conjoined twins. And you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
They used to be called, inappropriately, Siamese twins.
Yes.
And the reason I think that is because one of the first known cases in the West was a pair of brothers who were from then what was called Siam, which is now Thailand. All right. So no, they weren't part Siamese cat.
Right.
They were from that part of the world.
Right.
So unfortunately, the condition got dubbed with that. But now we call them conjoined twins. So this is, I was going to read you here what I've got, okay?
Okay.
It's a little bit editorialized by the author, but not horribly so. So they were the world's oldest living conjoined twins at the time of their death in 2003.
Okay.
They were age 53 at the time, okay? Snatched from their Russian mother following their birth, Masha and Dasha, I tried so hard to be able to pronounce this last name. I can't. You know what? I'll try. Krivoshlyapova. I have a friend who's Russian, who is in Russia, and her name is Svetlana. I'm going to ask, of course it's Svetlana. I'm going to ask her how I pronounce that. She'll just say it like, blah, blah, and I'll be like, wow. That's amazing. Anyways, Masha and Dasha were subjected to a variety of cruel medical experiments by Stalin's Soviet medical authorities. For those of you who may not be aware, Joseph Stalin was leader of the Soviet Union, a brutal leader who arguably killed more people than Hitler. I think he died in 53. So even though he died, obviously these girls were still in the clutches of his medical system. The girls shared a blood system but had separate nervous systems, so were seen as ideal subjects for research. Treated as medical guinea pigs, they were burnt, frozen, starved, electrocuted, kept forcibly awake, and injected with radioactive and other toxic substances in the name of science. The twins were institutionalized for much of their lives, but their horrific story has now been revealed in full for the first time. The author of the book, Juliet Butler, befriended the two girls, Masha and Dasha, and said despite sharing the same genetics, horrific childhood, and all of their lives in the same lower body, the sisters had wildly different personalities. One was a cruel, domineering, quote-unquote, psychopath who was emotionally abusive to her caring, empath sister, who remained gentle and kind and longed for a normal life. This is actually pretty sad, folks, in case you haven't picked up on it yet. Ms. Butler, who met them in 1988 and became friends with them, told this website, "I've no doubt at all that Masha was a psychopath. She ticked all the boxes. Dasha was in an emotionally abusive relationship, similar to the situation some people find themselves in with a partner. But while those people have a chance to leave, Dasha physically couldn't. Masha denied Dasha everything she ever longed for, a chance of love, a relationship with her mother, a job, and even what she wanted most, a separate body. Ms. Butler, who has written a novel based on their lives called The Less You Know, The Sounder You Sleep, which is a brilliant title, has provided fascinating insights to the tragic pair that reignite the nature versus nurture debate. They were kept hidden from the public in a children's ward for 8 years before being moved to boarding school for children with motor impairment in southern Russia. As adults, the women had blocked out the trauma of their earlier childhood, according to Ms. Butler. It was myself who told Dasha and Masha that they had been subject to these cruel experiments from birth until the age of 6, when I found out about them. They said they couldn't remember. They could only recall happy things, such as a time a nurse brought them a toy. Masha got angry, while Dasha just said it wasn't their fault. They were just doing their jobs. That's a typical reaction of sweet Dasha. She reveals how Masha was unable to consume alcohol, so forced her sister to drink so they could both get drunk. They had their own hearts and lungs, but shared a blood supply, so when one drank alcohol, they could both get drunk, she explained. But Masha was unable to because of a gag reflex, and despite Dasha detesting alcohol, she forced her to drink anyway. With medical advances, many doctors offered over the years to separate the girls, but were declined by Masha. Ms. Butler recalled visiting the sisters in the late 90s with a letter from a British surgeon who specialized in separating conjoined twins, offering to help them. Dasha glanced across at Masha, her eyes full of hope, but Masha looked straight ahead immediately and said "Niet." And that, as Dasha would say, was that. And when later in life they found their birth mother, Yekaterina, that last name I can't pronounce, in 1985, again Masha decided after 4 years to cut off the connection against Dasha's wishes. And sadly, when the girls met their two brothers, they were rejected by them because of their looks. Who the fuck does that? God, what a couple pieces of shit. Dasha wanted a job, and tried a job putting rubber bulbs on pipettes. But Masha was not interested in changing her life and would smoke and read magazines. Even after death, Dasha was loyal. After making an appeal on television, the sisters moved to a home for veterans of labor with greatly improved living conditions. Miss Butler said that despite their sad lives, the sisters were an inspiration. I wanted to write the book to show people how sweet Dasha was, and it kind of is a tale of triumph over tragedy. In the end, I noticed how Dasha stood up to Masha and put her in her place more. Despite the toxic dynamic, at the end of the day, they had been through a lot together, and they had each other. They clearly loved each other deeply. Then, on April 17, 2003, Masha died of a heart attack. Even then, Dasha refused separation, perhaps out of her own need to stay close to her sister, or perhaps out of loyalty. Dasha was taken to hospital and died another 17 hours later due to blood poisoning from the toxic byproducts of Masha's decomposing body. Jesus.
Goodness gracious.
The book that Ms. Butler had written, The Less You Know, The Sounder You Sleep, has now been published, and I did confirm that it's available on Amazon.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Like being attached to someone who you've been attached to all your life, your sibling, right?
And sorry, where were they attached?
I just said lower body.
Just lower body.
Yeah,
okay.
so they had separate.
It sounds like they have separate hearts.
They did, and separate lungs, and they share, and they had separate nervous systems, but they shared a blood system.
Got it.
So that's why, even though the one couldn't drink alcohol because it would make her gag, she liked the effects of being drunk.
Right.
So she made the other one drink.
Yeah.
So I always imagined, because I remember as a kid, getting the Guinness Book of World Records books and being fascinated by some of them. And that's where I first saw the, I don't remember their names, but what were called the Siamese twins, the two brothers out of what is now Thailand.
Yeah.
And they actually both got married, both of those men. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit curious how things work in that regard.
By the same woman? Or to the same woman?
No, to each different women.
Really?
Yeah, so, I mean, kudos to those women. They must have been great guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do you think we could have a moment away from your brother? No, sorry. Yeah. I got something I want to say. Well, write it down and I'll make him turn away. But just think of how complicated everything must be.
Yeah.
But imagine how complicated it is when the other half of you is a fucking dick.
Yeah.
And not only that, a psychopath.
Psychopath.
Like, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's really sad.
It is. Yeah.
And in the Soviet, Christ.
And even to think about what they went through as kids.
Wow.
I
mean, science.
Being taken from your mother, for one.
Yeah. As an infant.
Yeah.
And then subjected to all these horrific tests. Tests for what?
Yeah. What's it going to tell you?
They're conjoined. They look really strange, I grant you, but they're humans.
Yeah.
So however you react is how they react. Dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't.
Because science would make leaps and bounds advancements if it was allowed to test on humans.
Yeah.
But for obvious, ethical reasons, you can't do that. You can't say, well, how much radiation can a person take?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
We could find out very fast. But it would be beyond inhuman.
Yeah.
Nobody's volunteering for it.
No.
And, if anybody says, why don't we use criminals? Yeah, no. Like, I got some pretty strong feelings about some criminal behavior, but I'm not running an SS camp here.
No.
They're going to say, okay, you've done
Yeah.
this, we can do whatever we want to. Like, talk
Right.
about a slippery slope. That's going off a cliff.
Yes. Yes.
So, obviously, you can't do that.
No.
But, yeah, Soviet Union in the 50s. I gotta imagine it wasn't a
I
picnic.
can't even think about that.
But it sounds like in the end, like they had a pretty good,
Yeah.
place to live.
Yeah.
But wow.
There's another conjoined twins. They've been in the news a lot lately.
Oh,
Their names are Abby and Brittany, and they're conjoined at like right up here. So
in the chest.
right up around the chest.
So
Yeah.
are they facing each other?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No.
Well, I guess it would suck.
That would suck.
Hey, look at that. Oh, right.
Yeah. No, they're next to each other, so it's basically one body,
Okay. Right.
two heads, and one of them
Right.
just got married.
Oh, only one of them.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And it was like just a few weeks ago. And I just, again, right? Like you have questions.
I do. I'm
You
not
have
going to pose
questions.
them here
No.
because
No.
no,
we're
because
not.
I don't need to.
No.
People listening are doing that.
Yeah,
too.
they're all doing the same thing.
So that's pretty. So
But
only one of them got married.
Only one of them got married.
Wonder how the other one. They'd both have to like the person, wouldn't
I
they?
mean, I would think because they share all the parts. And
Well, not
stuff.
even that. Like you're going to be around them,
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I really love him. I think he's a dick. Well, we got a problem here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know how that
They
works.
They have to do. Well, that's pretty. So that's something that's just going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Abby and Brittany.
Abby and Brittany Hensel.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's that? Does it say?
I believe they had a show. I think that's kind of how they.
Of course they did.
They got popular. Yes,
Right.
TLC. TLC
Shocking.
reality show.
Shocking. TLC.
Yeah.
Do you remember when TLC was actually a really good network?
It was.
Do you remember what
Yes.
TLC stood for then?
The Learning Channel.
Right. That's not what it
Yes.
stands for anymore.
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, it was
It had
great.
great shows on
Damn
it.
right. Not like that. Honey
Yeah.
Boo Boo and shit.
Oh, God. Oh,
Oh my God.
yeah. Anyway.
But that's
but
well, good for them.
it's interesting. Like, I've seen a bunch of their videos and stuff just because I find it fascinating.
Well, and I was reading a bit about this, about conjoined twins, and how advancements in science are making it better to separate them. And do you know what the big thing is? Is that's going to lead to it is 3D printed organs. Yeah. So they'll be able to literally design organs. So they would separate you, keep you on whatever machines that are, pumping your blood, breathing for you, running your heart,
Right.
and then put in designed organs, designed specifically for you. So there'd be
Can I
no
get a new shoulder?
it's not an organ.
But no, they can still print me one.
I can print you one.
Can you?
Yeah, it'd just be a picture.
No.
But you can hold it up there.
You can hold it up,
Sure, dude.
tape it on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would feel any better. It might.
Probably wouldn't.
No, probably not. So yeah, that's
Wow.
conjoined twins. There's something I never thought of being a part of, and who's ever running the universe, if anyone, even if it's just laws of science, thank you for not making me a conjoined twin. You know. Do you have anything else?
I got one more.
Lay it on me,
Yeah,
or else.
we can throw one in there.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a quick one.
Oh, okay.
An ad, or not an ad, but an article popped up there a little while ago, and clickbait maybe, but I read it anyways. But it was 7 old school dating rules that we can't believe existed.
We'll see who can't believe them.
So most of them are from like the 1950s.
That's not that long ago.
Well, no, but long enough.
All right, carry on.
You were what, 10 by then?
Shut up. Strike one. I was born in the 60s, Dan. Oh, by the way, I should point out,
What?
not to you, I'm not talking to you. Mel and I are both Gen Xers.
Yes, we are.
Opposite ends
You're
though,
welcome.
of the spectrum. I am second year of the Gen X team. And
And I'm
what's
the
her name?
second last.
Yeah.
What's your name? Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah. So I just wanted to point that out. So
Yeah.
that might explain some of our perspectives. Anyway, I apologize.
I don't know. Our perspectives are pretty spot on, I think. Anyways.
Go ahead.
Shut up. Yeah. So first one is never ever make the first move as a woman.
Oh,
Never.
okay. Go on.
It was unheard of, even scandalous, for a woman to initiate the dating process. A young girl must never ask a boy on a date.
Is that what it says, young girl?
Yeah.
That's
young
weak.
girl.
Because young girls aren't dating. Girls are,
Yeah.
not young girls. That's
Wow.
like a 5 or 6 year old.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think that's what it meant. Young
But
ladies.
I don't like that shit.
What?
Well, because it's inaccurate.
Waiting to make the first move?
No. Well,
Okay, the
I'm
sirens.
talking about the language. Who cares? By the way, they're coming for Mel because...
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Anyways.
If only I could edit that out. So women, girls should never make the first move.
Correct. It says you give him your phone number and sit and wait for the phone to ring until he calls.
That's bullshit.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet you I speak for a lot of men when I say this. I love when the woman makes the first move.
Sure.
Why should,
as you should.
well, why should we have to do it
Yeah.
all? You know,
I
you want
100%
something,
agree.
go after it.
You want something?
No, but I
Get
mean, whatever it may be, if you're a woman, don't not do something because some archaic rule says you can't because you're a girl.
Yeah. It's like going to a
Fucking do
dance and waiting for the boy to come ask you to dance.
Right, go over and
was the
say, hey,
opposite.
I want to
was
dance.
always the opposite.
Damn
No, I never went to dances
Liar.
because it wasn't allowed.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay, let's not talk about that.
Let's not
Sam.
talk about that.
Okay.
Second one.
Mm-hmm.
I would not do well in the 50s. Always act ladylike.
No, you wouldn't. You barely do well now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know.
Well, okay,
I
does
barely
it
function.
does it go on to say what ladylike means? Does it give any examples?
Not really. No, it was more point form. A couple of them had little blurbs after it, but it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
Right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Right. So can you get drunk off your ass on tequila while out said dance in the bathroom?
Probably not.
Right. Too
Probably
bad.
not.
I love tequila. Anyway, okay.
All right. So there's that one.
Mm-hmm.
Always act coy. She bats an eyelash. He cracks a joke. She sends him a coy smile.
Oh God. I mean, coy smiles. It's pretty cute. But okay, nice.
That's so
Whatever.
funny. Anyway, never kiss and tell.
No, that's a fair one, though.
Girls don't tell their friends a thing. It wasn't up for a
That's
conversation.
bullshit.
That is bullshit.
But you know
Guess
what's-
who I'm telling?
And do you know what's weird, though? Is guys get made out that we do that. I think women do it far more often
100%.
than men
I
do.
agree with you.
You know?
I agree with you because something happens and we just have to go tell. We have to go tell our friends.
Yeah, and, but I do subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Like, I really hate it when other guys are like, yeah, I fucked her last night, and I'm like, yeah, does she know you're telling us this?
Mm.
If she does, and she's cool with it,
Yeah.
have at it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, shut your gob. Besides which, nobody cares.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. What
And-
was that?
I don't know.
Wow.
That was creepy.
Only date with matrimony in mind.
Well, thank
Catching
God
a
that's
husband
over.
was first. Career was second. I'm surprised they even put career in here. 'Cause
Me too.
the old days, it just wasn't a thing. But
Well, career then would have been working like a couple of hours a week down at the shoe store.
right.
No, I don't know. I
Yeah,
just made that.
at the bakery.
Ooh, I'd love to marry a woman who worked at a bakery.
Right? That'd be great. But yeah, so no dating. unless you wanna
Matrimony
get
in mind.
Matrimony.
Well, there's one I'm really glad is no longer
Yes.
the case.
Never date outside your religion. Which, I mean, still kind of sort of applies
In
to
in
these-
conservative circles.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like
No.
some of the, yeah,
No.
for sure. And always date taller men.
Why? I mean, as a
it
tall
was-
man, I'm all on board for that.
Sure,
But
sure.
why-
But it was always a thing where, you see a woman who's taller than the man,
Uh-huh.
people notice that. And I don't know if it represents it, but you look at it and you're like, oh, well, she's in power because she's bigger.
Which is
she's taller.
ridiculous.
Right? Like,
Right.
that's just
Because
sort of how it is.
without giving too much away, and certainly, I would never, ever, ever, criticize you, insult you. You couldn't help but find a man who's taller,
I know.
right?
It's true. It's true.
But that's a dumb rule.
It is a dumb rule.
Hang out with whoever you want, as
Of
long as they're
course.
not, like, hurting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, never mind. But you know what I mean. As long as they're
Yeah,
treating you the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Was that the last
that
of
was the last of the 7. I just thought they were kind of interesting.
Do you think there's any there that still really have a foothold nowadays?
Well, I think the kiss and tell one, like you said, I think that's a big one.
And I think it's
I
a
mean,
good one.
If you're telling your friends, like your best friend,
Uh-huh.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. But if you're in a locker room at hockey and you're telling all the guys about that's distasteful. That's gross.
Don't take this the wrong way, but as a guy who's hung out in locker rooms,
Yeah.
thank you for leaving
I
that
know.
alone.
I
We
know.
don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. Like, I'm not saying guys never tell other guys,
No.
but it's not like you stand up there. Hey, everybody, guess what Matilda and I did last night? Wait, is that the kids movie about the girl who has magic powers? Yeah, I didn't mean to choose them. That is a great movie. Guess what we did last night? It just doesn't. No, dummy. I'm talking.
I know. No, dummy.
I'm bringing that classic back. So, yeah, but I agree. I think that's a good one. The taller
Speaking of,
one. What?
You could probably add one in here about language, like never say bad words.
Like ever swear?
Yeah. I bet you that was probably one.
Oh, back then.
That's what I
Oh,
mean.
but that would have just
Yeah.
been a given.
Yeah.
Like every swear word that exists now has for, certainly the last century, right? Certainly in the 50s. There's no swear word now that wasn't around then.
Right.
I think probably people swore less.
Probably.
They were certainly exposed to less
Yeah.
swearing.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
A
as
bit
a
more
woman.
civilized is how I picture it in the 50s.
Yeah, in that regard.
You have your flowy dress, and the women always wore makeup. And,
Bobby socks,
And, yeah.
saddle
and
shoes.
Always had an apron on, waiting for her husband to get home with his, margarita or
But
something.
just an apron.
But just...
No, just kidding. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty idyllic.
Yeah.
Pretty Norman Rockwell, and
Yeah.
I doubt that ever
Stepford Wife, is that what they used to call
Well,
it?
you're making me think of Leave It to Beaver,
Yeah.
which is a great show,
Mm-hmm.
but wholly inaccurate.
But anyway, I thought those were kind of
Agreed.
interesting.
Oh, 100%. Now, to be curious, so that's roughly 75 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to see what the rules on dating will be 75 years from now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Don't overcommit to your AI girlfriend.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
Don't always swipe right.
Is it
I don't
right or
know.
left?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I can never remember that
No
shit.
idea.
Yeah, man. Well, I think it was Bob Dylan who said the times they are changing,
Yeah.
and they're always changing.
Yep.
Usually for the better.
Yeah, because we're here now.
Good one. Good one.
Right?
So yeah, anything else on that regard?
No.
All right. I don't know about you, but I'm about to ready to start eating my laptop.
Are you?
I'm not literally
No,
that
no.
hungry.
We
but
got to go back to this apple thing. We got to go find an apple. Because you'll be really, it'll fill you up if you just shove it all in your mouth at
it's
once.
not apple.
We're
Well, what do
coming
you mean?
back to this.
Fill me up. What am I going to swallow it like that? What am I, a snake? I'm going to dislocate my jaw?
Yes.
No, because if I dislocate my jaw, it's not going back into place. You're driving me to the hospital, and
Still doing this apple thing.
no. Under pain of torture, I'm not doing this apple thing. Unless it's a really teeny tiny little, like, crab apple.
Crab apple?
The size of,
I love
like...
crab apples.
Yeah, I do too. Size of, like, I don't know, a radish. Even that I'm not doing. I'll choke to death, for Christ's sakes.
Whoa.
Oh, you hear that?
Doo-doo.
Don't say its name, because it'll trigger it. That was my Alexa. I hope you can't spell. Okay, so do we have anything to tell our fine and lovely listeners before we part ways?
Well...
Mel? Oh, we got to tell them again, we're using our new mics, so hopefully you're noticing a difference.
Yeah, hopefully.
We like them. They just look cool.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't have to sit so close to them now. It's
Which
great.
we're both thrilled about.
Yeah.
And also, too, we have released the first of 2 bonus episodes. Matter of fact, by the time you're listening to this, they may both be out there.
Woo.
But they can go visit us, too, can't they, Mel?
They can.
Where should they go to do that?
Well, you can go to Instagram at the _absurd_podcast, or you can check us out on Facebook. If you just look up The Absurd and you see the girl with the bag on her head, that'd be us.
That's you.
So, it's not me.
Okay.
It's Rod.
It's not me.
So, yeah, if you want to message us on there, reach out, or you can email us at absurdthepodcast@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions, thoughts, comments, anything you want us to talk about, or you just want to make fun of Rod, that's fine too.
Or Mel. Tell her how hot her voice is.
Yeah.
She'd love to see emails like that, eh? No, don't do that. I'll find you. Oh, well, go ahead then. I don't care. Yeah, and when you visit us on your favorite platform, be it Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer, whatever, we really kindly ask that you give us a 5-star review. That is assuming you like it, and we hope you do, because we want to keep doing this. We enjoy it. We have fun.
Absolutely.
And so please do that. It drives us up further in the list, and who doesn't like a good review, right?
Word.
So, yeah, anything else, Mel?
That's it. That's all I got today.
Well, let's say goodbye to our lovely listeners.
Yeah.
Bye, lovely listeners.
See ya.
Toodaloo.
The Absurd Podcast is written, produced, and recorded by Rod and Mel. Music by Audionautics.com.